G'day guys, Troy K here and welcome to another episode of K Brothers Pythons. Today we'll be talking about frequent feeding compared to power feeding. So our understanding of the words power feeding are people jamming these big food items down the snake's mouth, where we like to frequently feed. Now what does that mean? That means smaller food items more frequently. When do we start? We start at the start with the hatchlings. We'll go through and we'll pick out the hatchlings that we want to have a crack at breeding at 18 months. Example, we've got these possible double hets here, being het for Henry, het for albino. And we'll want to get these girls and boy up to size at 18 months to have a crack. To start them, we'll go through and offer them fuzzy mouse once a week. Once they're up and feeding on their fuzzy mice once a week, we'll leave that go for a couple of weeks, then introduce a second food item for the week. Once they're feeding on their couple of fuzzy mice per week, one being a Tuesday, one being a Thursday, we might up it again to 3 a week. Once they're taking that, no worries, and they're ready to be upgraded to a different food size, we'll try and shoot for that bigger food item being a velvet rat. Once they take that velvet rat, we'll leave them on that for a week or two. Once they're going well there, we'll upgrade that to, again, twice a week, being a Tuesday, Thursday. Once they're handling that, no dramas at all, we'll upgrade it 3 times to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And that's what frequent feeding is, guys. Lots of small food items quite frequently. So with your yearlings, this is where the stuff's really starting to happen. They're pushing onto the large weaners, the small rats that are about your 90 gram mark. These guys here, this is one of our little axanthic coastal pythons that we're wanting to push up size this year, and he's looking the goods. How did we get him up so big so quick? Frequent feeding. So this boy here is smashing through the rats, the 90 gram rats. As you can see, there's a small lump here. You don't want that big massive lump. That's going to take a while to digest and a while to go away. Frequent feeding, smaller food items more regularly. Smaller food items, lots of heat. He's good for if he was fed last night. He's good to go again tomorrow night. Another food item. A zebra, male, yearling, coming up for a shed. Constant sign when you're frequent feeding. Buggers are always coming up for a shed. But again, the zeb doesn't have to be as big. Why? Because the zeb's a jungle. This boy over here, the axanthic, is coastal carpet. That comes down to knowing your different pythons, the different weights that they have to be fertile. With your males, they don't have to be as big as your females to be fertile, but you still want them up to a nice, decent, healthy weight. So we're in the breeding room with our 3 yearling girls that we'll be trialling this year. One being a jungle zebra form, the other 2 being coastal carpets. You'll also notice that the jungle is a fraction smaller than these coastals. Why? Because the coastals have to be bigger to be fertile. Your jungles, not so much. These girls they've just got moved in here and they've been upgraded. And if you can see this lump just running through here, they've gone from having 3 to 4 feeds a week of 80 to 90 gram rats to now having 140, 150 gram rats, maybe twice a week. We'll leave that go that way for a couple of weeks and then we'll up it to 3 feeds, maybe 4 feeds a week just prior to breeding season. With our jungle girl, come here sweetheart. Jungle girl, not so big. Like the male, in shed, but that's a common occurrence when you're frequently feeding. You're feeding, they're growing. So this girl here, she's nowhere near as big as these girls, but she's looking nice and primed for breeding. Now I think one thing that is important to note when you are frequently feeding is that we only do this to get these guys up to sexual maturity. Once they hit sexual maturity, well that's a whole nother feeding regime and that's a whole nother episode. I hope you've enjoyed it and we'll catch you on the next one.